This is the moment I knew I was done and why I walked away from teaching. I'm not pointing any fingers. Be sure and watch to the end. Find the solutions. Let's go. This is an episode with Coffee with Coach. My channel is the Retired Roster DIY and Coach Morris. These this is kind of what broke the camel's back. And I was already on that fence. And once you get on the fence about something, you're probably going to do it. But I was taking a class, PE class, for one of my coaches. He's a cancer survivor, and he was going to a meeting, a luncheon with other cancer survivors, and I thought it was a great opportunity. I took his class. It was a beautiful spring day, so we were outside walking the track, just walking around. You know, Coach Morris, I'm not going to do anything extra with kids I don't really know. So, just the PE class, we're just walking around. Kids are talking in little groups. I don't know, 10 minutes before the bell rings, I started wrapping them up, blew my whistle, said, hey, it's time to go. And a couple of the girls were just ignoring me. So I went over and I touched one on the shoulder. And she jerked back. And I said, I thought, well, something's wrong. A bee bit her or something. It was weird. And she said, well, nobody's ever touched me like that before. And I'm, no, you're not doing that to me. So I said, all right, let's go. And we went in. I said, we're going straight to the principal and I'm reporting it. And I made sure I had witnesses and went to the principal. And uh, the girl started doing the moonwalk. If you don't know what that is, it's the Michael Jackson moonwalk when he's walking backwards. And she was trying to get out of this. She knew she'd screwed up by uh, acting that way with me. And I don't know what she was thinking. I think just testing my authority because I am a disciplinarian, always have been. The kids knew that, and she thought she could get by with it. Well, she was doing the moonwalk, and I'm very fortunate. I had a principal that knew my character, and he was soothing it over. I said, no, this can't be smoothed over by talking. I want meetings with parents. I said, okay, well, let's go. And so we got hold of parents. I spoke with parents. I let them know what happened and the way she acted, and that there was no intent at all. They knew. They knew how their daughter is, and it was all good. But that just led me to start thinking, if I wouldn't have had witnesses, if I was trying to smooth something over, what if I wouldn't have done something? This child would have done it and thought maybe it worked with Coach Morris. It can work with everybody. Maybe she had done it before. I don't know. But by me going to parents immediately helped solve that problem with me. But I knew at that point that was the straw and I was done. Because if a child can do that with new teachers or teachers maybe that aren't as strong as me, we've got an issue. And I was on the fence anyway. I said, I'm done. We had to break the cycle between child, teacher, parent, and administrators. And some of the issues that we have with our school system now is our administrators may or may not know the character of our teachers. And they're so busy. They're just so busy They can't get to know it. That's where maybe the staff needs to make sure that they're doing things that help the principals out with the way that the things should be and the way they should be reacting to children. If I wouldn't have had witnesses, there's no telling what would have happened.
Spam.
I think I know by now.
We got spam and a loud mower.
It's all good. I love people out working. Uh, Solution. What we can do. Our administrators are afraid of the backlash on social media if they do discipline children. And the parents that are screaming the most are probably the same parents that are having issues with their kids at home also. I've found when I have parent meetings that 99% of the time the parents are having the same issues that we're having with their child in our classroom. Now, the other 1%, the parents are just lying. They're lying. That's just as simple as it gets. If I'm having issues, if other teachers are having the same issues, that kid is acting that way in the classroom and at home. So we can't be afraid of the backlash from social media. And it's a trickle down effect. Once the teachers are uh, afraid to discipline because they're not being backed by the principals, and it's not all the principals' fault. It's their bosses that are saying, "Hey, we need you to cut down on the amount of issues that we're having being recorded, and if we get those issues down, well, the principals are under that pressure from administration. The central office is afraid of the relationship thing also, and uh, they they blame it on classroom management from the teachers, and that's in yes, in certain circumstances, that's true. That we have issues with teachers that are not being taught how to handle a classroom. Yeah, they're being taught to put their lesson plans up on the board that nobody looks at. I mean, I'll tell you stories that uh, putting up the lesson plan and what we're going to do for the day. I'll go up there and leave the same thing up there for 2 weeks, misspelled words all over it on purpose. Nobody ever says anything. Nobody pays attention. Nobody. We're wasting our time on certain things. Now, should we be worrying more and teaching our teachers how to handle issues in the classroom, being specific? I've been in hundreds of classrooms. I've helped many teachers with their discipline. We're not teaching that, and we're paying attention to just the wrong things. Teachers need to communicate with parents immediately. You don't put discipline off. You don't. You handle it right now. If a child is disrupting your class, you end it now. You question the child. You call the parents now and say, "Hey, Johnny's doing this. We can't have it, and he's disrupting the class. I can't instruct the other children, so we're going to have to do something about it." And if it keeps up, you call the parents in and you have a meeting face to face with them. I guarantee you, they're having issues with that child too. If they will not behave in your classroom, this is what you do also. If it doesn't work, you call some of the other parents in that class. The kids that are behaving, the kids that want to learn, you call their parents and you tell them, "Hey, I've got a kid in here I can't get under control. I've gone to administrations. I've called his parents, and he's still not taking care of business. You get those parents that you trust to start calling admin. Have them call downtown. Have them call the ad building and talk to the superintendent and say, hey, there's a kid in that class and he's disrupting my kids' ability to learn. See where I'm going with this? Those are the solutions that we've got to have. So we gave you three ways to do it, right? You handle the discipline immediately. Two, you talk to principals, you get them to know who you are, and you get parents on your side. You get those parents that want their children to learn. Now, like I said, wasn't going to point fingers, and I'm not. All parents want their children to learn. It's just a fact. Now, are some parents just too busy? Yes. Are we there to help? Yes. Are we indentured servants? Heck no, we are not. And sometimes they treat us that way now. Parents have had the wake up call with Coach Morris. If they think that they're going to talk to me or one of my coaches in a meeting a certain way, not going to have it. Teachers have got to take up for themselves. It's to the point where teachers won't even discipline children in the classroom because they don't want to have the backlash. That can't happen anymore. Those are the solutions that I have. Parents, teachers, good luck. Remember, keep smiling. Victory.